What if the future of AI isn't a few giant companies behind closed doors, but an open marketplace where thousands of specialized models compete, improve, and get paid for being useful? That's Bittensor's subnet design, and today I'll show you why this architecture changes the game. I'm Shay, 3 years, over 100 deep dive and reviews. This is Deciphering Crypto. We make blockchain, crypto, and AI simple. All right, let's first talk about the AI paradox and centralization's glass ceiling. We live in an AI boom, but it's oddly centralized. Massive data centers, proprietary models, single vendors, that scale looks powerful until you hit the glass ceiling. Centralized stacks struggle to cover every use case well. They're optimized for product margins, not your niche problem. Here's the paradox. The bigger these systems get, the harder it is to innovate at the edges. Data and models get siloed, access is metered, evals are opaque. When one company controls the rails, you inherit their roadmap, their bottlenecks, and sometimes their outages. And there's an ethical layer. Concentrated AI power means single points of failure, technical, economic, and political. One change in policy or pricing ripples through every builder downstream. That's the ceiling. All right, let's talk about why decentralized AI outperforms centralized giants. Now flip the model. In a decentralized network, capacity doesn't hinge on one provider. You can add participants, you add capability. Instead of hitting a server limit, the system scales horizontally as more specialized models enter the market. Think wisdom of the crowd, but quantitative. In Bittensor style markets, models compete to be useful. Validators score outputs. Rewards flow to what works. Over time, that competition nudges the whole network towards better answers like natural selection for AI. Resilience is the bonus. No central off switch, no single pricing desk. Diversity across validators and miners makes censorship harder and failure less catastrophic. The result is a network that can evolve quickly and withstand shocks. So what is Bittensor? In plain English, it's a decentralized network where participants contribute AI as miners or validators and earn TAO for useful work. But the real innovation is the subnet. A subnet is a focused marketplace. It defines one job, say retrieval or summarization, role play, chat, mapping, or drug discovery. It also defines how answers are scored and how rewards are allocated. That's crucial. Every subnet publishes its own rules. Here's the flow. A user sends a prompt to a validator inside a subnet. The validator fans it out to multiple miners, each running a model. Responses come back. The validator scores them using the subnet's rule. Pairwise comparisons, rubric checks, benchmark references, then rewards miners in TAO according to those scores. And the economics do matter. TAO isn't there for vibes. It's a coordination tool. If your model is consistently useful, you earn more TAO. If not, you improve or you exit. Incentives create pressure for real performance, not just marketing. Okay, let's take a look at some real-world impact and emerging use cases for subnets. So some of these examples you can actually picture. These are representative subnets with public materials. Links will be in the description. So we have Nova, which is subnet 68, drug discovery. The token it uses is Nova, and it targets molecular screening. Models propose promising, synthesizable compounds. Validators score usefulness. Rewards encourage better candidates. It's DeSci, or decentralized science, where smaller teams can collaborate and compete in a field normally gated by huge budgets. And then there's GAIA, which is subnet 57, weather and climate. GAIA focuses on geospatial and forecasting tasks. The aim, better local signals and faster integration from a community of contributors. Instead of one monolithic model, GAIA lets specialized approaches earn if they perform on the subnet's rubric. And there's StreetVision. Mapping StreetVision uses crowd-captured street-level video to improve mapping and perception tasks. The subnet structure lets validators score outputs like detection, tracking, or signage recognition, rewarding models that make maps and autonomy tools more useful. And then we have MIID, or MIID, which is subnet 54, and it is a synthetic KYC or a fraud testing subnet. And it generates inorganic identities to stress test name matching, sanction screening, and fraud pipelines. Banks and fintechs need hard, weird edge cases. A subnet can incentivize exactly that. Models that surface realistic, hard to catch patterns. And there's prompting and role play, or subnet 1, conversational workloads. And subnet 1 uses validators that that role-play realistic users to evaluate conversational models. It's a living benchmark. The minute a new prompting strategy works, miners adopt it to climb the leaderboard. The bigger picture is democratization. Individual researchers and small labs can plug in where they're strong. Narrow tasks, clever evals, or new data without asking permission from a cloud vendor. Open collaboration replaces proprietary secrecy and speeds up integration. And this is the dawn of a new AI era. And what is your role in the revolution? This is a fundamental shift from centralized product to decentralized process. Instead of one model trying to be everything for everyone, you get many models, each excellent at something, competing in public, and anyone with a desire and will can get involved. If you are interested in getting involved, here are a few paths, but definitely not all of them. Going from the easiest to the most technical is first, use apps and gateways built on subnets. Call a gateway, measure latency costs and quality of the tasks you care about. A gateway is a doorway between you and a subnet. It takes your request, routes it to the right validators or miners, collects the best answer, and sends it back, so you don't have to run any network software yourself. And then a step up is running light infrastructure. And it's pretty basic, but if you're comfortable with command line basics, you can run light clients that route your own traffic to specific subnets and log results. This gives you control and sometimes lower costs. And then there's a miner. Being a miner on a CPU-friendly subnet. A few subnets don't require heavy GPUs. You can experiment with a modest machine to learn the flow, set up, respond, get scored. Expect tinkering. Profitability definitely isn't guaranteed. And then a big step up is being a miner. Bring a model to the right subnet, read the spec, tune for the rubric, and let the incentives test your work in the wild. And finally, be a validator. Help define quality. If you can design a fair, robust evaluation, you can shape an entire market. Societal upside, a more robust, auditable, and accessible AI ecosystem. Fewer single points of failure, more transparency around what good means because the scoring rules are written down, tested, and improved by a community that shares incentives. The bottom line is centralized AI gave us a running start, but its glass ceiling is now obvious. Bittensor subnets turn usefulness into an economic signal and let specialized models rise. If incentives stay aligned and validators remain diverse, this network can keep getting better, precisely where closed stacks stall. If this helped, hit the like, subscribe, and share it with a builder who's sick of vendor lock-in, or for links for Nova, GAIA, StreetVision, or MIID and the prompting subnet are in the description. If you need a trusted, compliant brokerage and want the white glove service you deserve, support the channel and use the Caleb and Brown ref link in the description. Please let me know what you were thinking and what your favorite projects are. I love the comments and read every one of them. See you next week on Deciphering Crypto. Take care.